if Leonard Cure deserved to die for breaking the law, then Officer Jason Raynor deserved to die for breaking the law as well, because he did break the law. He violated Othel Wallace's civil rights, and he tried to unlawfully detain him. Okay, so if you want to argue that the amount of force that Wallace used against Raynor was disproportionate, okay. I argue that the amount of force that Deputy Buck Aldridge used against Leonard Cure was disproportionate as well, because I didn't think it was necessary for him to tase him simply because he wouldn't put his hand behind his back. And people are saying that, what Wallace did after he was tased was assault. But I was like, that's self-defense. And they're saying that he didn't have the right to self-defense, because it was lawful for the officer to use violence against a non-violent person. So I said, okay, then it's lawful for Wallace to use violence against a non-violent person who's committing a crime against him as well. It was lawful for Wallace to shoot Raynor in the head, because if Wallace simply pushed Raynor off of him, if he simply punched Raynor, what do you think Raynor was going to do? Either he was going to respond physically with his hands or with a taser, or he was going to shoot Wallace. Okay, you can't dispute, those conclusions, because if Raynor realized that he couldn't whoop Wallace, he was definitely going to shoot him. You know what I'm saying? Because, there is no penalty for officers who violate someone's civil rights. There is no penalty for an officer who unlawfully detains someone. The penalty is very slim. It's almost non-existent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure Wallace knew that standing up for your civil rights is dangerous. I'm sure Wallace knew resisting a lawful detainment was just as dangerous as resisting a lawful one. Because Raynor probably couldn't even tell the difference between a lawful detainment and a unlawful detainment. He probably wasn't concerned about the difference between the two. And he definitely would have used deadly force, had Wallace simply just resorted to his hands rather than his gun.